Hello, Laker families. Welcome back to another edition of NTHS Parent Academy. And in this video, we are going to quickly highlight how to access, check, and understand your students' grades, gradebooks, report cards, and transcripts. So we're going to dive right in. You should be logged in as a parent on the Aeries account. And once you do so, you should see something that looks similar to this screen here. If you have multiple students, just a reminder, you can toggle them up here at the top. That also applies to different schools. Say, for example, if your student is taking a cold stream class, they will actually have a separate entry up here as well that you might need to toggle to be able to access any grades or reporting related to any other school your student or other students may be enrolled in. The area that you're going to be looking for on the left-hand side, this looks similar on a phone, but we're using a computer for this. It's easier to actually read and understand on a computer, but you can access much of the same information on your phone as well. The menu item that you're going to be diving into here is under grades, and so we're going to click on that. This menu is going to open up and it has a number of different options. You may or may not see some of these on your end in our TTUSD version of Aeries. This is the demo account. A couple things, and we're going to work our way down this list. So our gradebook is primarily where we're going to start. The gradebook information has at-a-glance views of what I call snapshot versions of grades, meaning this is what his or her or their grade is at this moment in time, given what they've turned in, as well as what information is available to the teachers and what they have graded and entered. So it really is, if I took a picture of this right now, this could be their grade. This D in period 4 that you see here could, if they graded and entered something, could be an A by the end of the day. So it does change frequently. This is more of just an update. You can change the view from card to table. I actually prefer the table view myself. It provides a little bit more details at a glance of what is happening. For example, a percentage or a piece of information about their marks, so like an average on the 4-point scale. It also will show information about attendance, so you can see their class attendance here, and then also when it was last updated, which is important because this last update, if you're looking and you're like, why is this grade so low? Potentially, it might not be updated for the last couple days. Potentially your child maybe turned something in and it might not be fully reflected. So that's always something I like to check, is how up to date is this current grade that they see. Now, when I want to say look and see an individual class, I want to see why this student has a D in civics. I can click on the name of that course, and in just a second, it will actually pop up and show me all the different items that the student has. Once again, I typically change to table view. I can get a better at-a-glance view of the overall picture, the actual assignment that the teacher has created in their gradebook, the category, and that is related to the items down here, and where this falls into these different breakdowns. So you can also see why, hey, if I do all my homework, that's great, but maybe it's only 10% of my grade, but if I make up this missing test or improve that grade, that's gonna be a better bang for my buck, and it might be worth more energy than, say, a missing homework assignment if I retook this test that I had failed, for example. So you can look at that. That's the category, the score, and then any comments that teachers might have, and then grading completed means that it's reflected in the gradebook at that point. Okay, so you can do that for any grade level that you have. So when you click on that, it brings us to this next item in this menu on the left-hand side, which is the gradebook details. From this page, I can also change to different periods here. So if I wanted to jump straight from here to look at this other section, I can also use this drop-down. Now, that's the snapshot view. So that's our current live view, essentially, of the grades. Every about 5 weeks or so, we also have a progress report, and we get a lot of emails or requests for actual progress reports, whether that's for like an insurance or things like that. The progress report is more of a periodic, still a snapshot, but more up-to-date snapshot that also impacts things like athletics and other items related to that. So the report card history is actually available here, so you can actually access PDFs once report cards have been posted. For example, as of this recording, we just wrapped up our first progress report in the 24-25 school year. So when students log into, or parents log into their report card history, they should see one entry, and you can actually open that up. It will list a copy of the report card. You'll see the grades, any marks, and this is a PDF that you can download, print, share, with anybody that might need it. And just a reminder that these grades do not actually go on final report cards. So these are progress reports. So it's just a more up-to-date snapshot that is similar to what you see in the grade book, but done so in a way that teachers are asked and instructed to have as much information up to date in there as possible. Now, if a student was absent, say the day before that grading period, and maybe they missed an assignment or a test, that might not be fully reflected in that grade book. And just a reminder, it can be rectified through different processes for athletics and whatnot. But if you need those periodic grades that are more official, maybe an insurance needs it or something like that for a reduced rate, that's how you could do that there. Grades also report some information about that. You can get an at-a-glance view of the different grades here as well. The transcripts is the last area that I'll point your attention to for this video, because this is going to be the running record of your students' final grades. So this is the stuff that actually matters in relation to college, graduation, GPA, all that stuff. So both progress and gradebooks are basically kind of update tools to keep you informed about how they're doing as they're progressing towards the 2 semester grading periods that we have at North Tahoe High School, one in January and one in June. Those January and June grades are what we call semester or term grades, and those are what appear here on the forever transcript. Okay, so those are the ones that really do truly matter, and those are the ones that we are kind of working towards making as solid as possible throughout this school year, and why you're getting those updates along the way. So a common thing that people will ask for related to transcripts is going to be, how do I access a PDF of it? So you won't see this here, okay, because this is not turned on from this demo site, unfortunately. But on our account, when you log in to your student's account, there will be a print button, usually kind of in this area up here, or right up in this area right here, that you can actually print a PDF of the unofficial transcript. And just to be clear, there's a difference between an unofficial and an official transcript. The unofficial transcript is basically just that. It means that you printed it. You can print it for information. Some places will take an unofficial transcript. Insurance many times will. Colleges typically will not. Other high schools typically will not. So the unofficial means that you are handling this pretty much all yourself. There's no signatures, there's no verification of the information, things like that. And typically it doesn't go straight from the requesting, the person who's reporting it, so North Tahoe High School, to say Harvard University, right? So it's not something that has kind of a chain of custody, essentially. An official transcript is something that students cannot actually access themselves. You have to go through a request process, typically through a service called Parchment online, and that's something that you can actually access. There is a little bit of a cost related to ordering official transcripts. It's a few dollars, but it does send digital and or mailed transcripts directly from us to the destination, which typically, if a college or organization says we need an official copy of your high school transcript, you are not going to order that to yourself or to your family and then deliver that on behalf of that. You're going to order it from us directly to whatever email, mailing address, things like that institution asks you to send an official transcript to. That makes it go from us to them with no interference, because, in this day and age, Photoshop, AI, all that stuff, it's pretty easy to turn an F into an A, if I was being honest. And so they are going to want that information directly from us. So that's how you access, interpret, and understand a little bit how to look at your students' grades, a little bit between the gradebook details, the report card history, and transcripts. If you have any questions about grading at all related to transcripts, your gradebook, what's going on, how do I understand this information, please reach out to your school counselor, an administrator here, or our registrar, and we'll be happy to assist.